Good morning, students. Today we'll discuss about the phase systems in the soil mass. So first of all, let me get back to different types of phases of soil mass which are there. So usually soil will be comprising of solid particles as we discussed in the previous session. They will be having of water or air. So this is a soil particle, how it looks like if it is in a pellet pattern. So these are the soil particles. For our convenience, we are making it a clear picture like this. And here, the gaps which are been there, we can see through here. The point is where water has been accumulated and air has been accumulated with A. So only for our convenience, we are segregating air separately, water separately, and soil particles separately. So we are having three phases. So one is air, second one is water, and third one is soil. So hence we call this element as three-phase system of soil mass. Always soils will be there in a three-phase system. So soil particles which are there, solids, water and air. If you calculate the volume of the air, so we call it as VA. If this calculate volume of water, VW. And if you calculate volume of solids, we call it as VS. And together, if you tell volume of air plus volume of water, together call it as volume of voids. And if you take total volume as Vt and volume of solids as Vs, and usually in the same pattern we'll take a mass of air will be considered as 0. Usually we can't measure the air weight, and mass of water as Mw and mass of solids as Ms. And where here you can clearly tell that mass of voids in this particular case is mass of water. That's it. So directly we can tell because mass of air is been neglected, and total mass is equal to Mt. And how usually it looks like, you can see through here a real-time picture. For our understanding purpose, a three-phase diagram I have replicated here. So this is a three-phase diagram. This blue color indicates U, water, and gaps which are there in white color will indicate air present, and this brown color which has been there is called as solid particles. So here void spaces are partially filled with air, partially filled with water. So this system of soil is considered as three-phase system, or soil what in this three-phase system example is soil is partially saturated soil mass. This is a best example to conclude a soil sample as a three-phase system where exist in the nature. So this is one best example. Later, if they completely, if this soil samples which are there in occupied by air or water, so completely if the sample has been occupied by water only, this void spaces, we call such samples as two-phase system. Or this sample which has been occupied completely spaces or void spaces which are occupied by water is called as this fully saturated soil mass. So again our soil system has been shifted from three-phase to two-phase. And another example, if completely, so usually for this example we tell that as in our rainy season, usually water will be stagnated on top of the soil mass and gaps are completely filled with water. So such soils we call it as fully saturated soil sample. So this is the best example. In rainy season we'll usually will get back a fully saturated soil mass, and if it is a summer, what happens is the water which is present in the soil mass completely evaporates due to heat. So the solid particles and air particles only left out. So it's in this category it is very difficult or very tough task to take down the system. When it was a three-phase to two-phase, it has shifted to again two-phase. This sample is considered as oven dried sample. So usually this can be noticed in our dry season called as summer season. And phase diagram usually I told you in the previous picture itself. So the purpose of making this phase diagram is to make conveniently to represent solid particles and where water and the liquid which are